Who knows? I'm back for some more free day-long tournament. Now, let's get this underway. And let me just get the stream set up. To 17 points. Partners bid Stamen, so we'll show our hearts. Some people say, oh no, don't show it 4-3-3. No, you should show it, unless you're trying to game the robots, of course, but that's a different story. And partner's got 4 spades, so we pass. And here it's interesting. So partner's got 10 points, to be expected. How many tricks do we have? We have 1 spade, 3 hearts is 4, 1 diamond is 5. So we need to find 4 more tricks on top of that. Where do you think we can find some extra tricks? Caroline says normally in Jack Stocken's class. Good to see you here in this class. Great. And few people are saying clubs. That's very good. Now, where else do you think we'll find? So let's say we get 2 club tricks, right? Losing king to the ace and then winning queen jack. What about other tricks? Do you think we'll get an extra 1 in diamonds? Well, this king is probably with the queen as well, in which case we would get an extra trick in diamonds. What about the spades? We could get an extra trick there if we finesse, but that may be risky because we'd need to lose the lead for the clubs and we'd have to lose the lead for the spades. Is there any way in particular we want to play the clubs? Would we rather lead the queen than lead low to the king, or does it not really matter? Caroline says finesse spades. So the issue with finessing spades is that, say the finesse loses, right? We want to consider if it loses. It's not because of entries, but if the finesse loses to the king, they knock out our last diamond stopper. Now, whenever we lose the ace of clubs, which we know we're going to, they can run all the diamonds. So basically, because we only have 1 more stopper in diamonds after the lead, we can only afford to lose the lead once. Now, if we're looking at the maximum tricks in clubs, which is 3 clubs, say we get 2 diamonds from both stoppers, that's 5. 6, 7, 8 for the hearts, and 9 for the spades. So we can here afford to duck the first trick. And the reason for that is if we lose to east with the ace of clubs, if we duck this, then West plays another one, we win. If we lose the ace of clubs to east, they may not have any diamonds left to play. And there's no other suit which we're more worried about. It's important that when choosing whether or not to duck a trick in no trumps, there's no other suit that you're as worried about or more worried about. They've switched to spades themselves, which is promising. And we win the 7. How awesome is that? We got to win the 7. Now, what I'm going to do here in the clubs is lead the 9. The reason I lead the 9 is because if we want to finesse the 10 later, say East shows out and we want to finesse the 10, we would rather be able to lead the 7 to the 8 and have the lead come in the north hand, which has more clubs, then have to run the 9 and be stuck in south. So I'll lead the 9, and there's the 10. So all of our clubs are good after the ace. There's the ace. Hopefully they play another spade. Nope. There's the queen of diamonds. All is merry. So, do we want to now finesse a spade? Or do we want to take our tricks? What do you think? Take him, says Patricia. And just take your tricks and run. Andrew says the spade finesse seems likely to lose. Ali also takes them. Pauline says finesse. So Andrew seems on the fence. Pauline and Judith like finessing, and Judith finds the exact reason. We have stoppers everywhere. If we take our tricks now, how many do we have? 3 plus 3 for hearts is 6, plus 2 clubs is 8, diamond is 9, spade is 10. Why not go for an extra by finessing? Now, there is actually a squeeze possible on this hand, but I'm not going to go into that because that's a bit much for this lesson. Okay, so I'm going to have to, since that finesse is failing, I'm going to have to resort back to the squeeze, which I'll just play out, and it looks like cashing all my tricks. And there's still a spade higher than the 9-8, so they're not good. And hoping that the hearts are good at this point. Which they weren't. But if West had 4 hearts, they would have been squeezed. They couldn't hold on to both the spade stopper and the 4-cut hearts. So just briefly mentioning that, not really going too much in depth on what the squeeze is. 2 diamonds, we'll accept the transfer, and partners bid 3 no trumps. Now, here's a question. Here's a question for you. Do we want to pass 3 no trumps because we have a 4-3-3, even though we've got a heart fit? Or do we want to play in the heart fit? What do you think? There's good merit to both sides, so I want to see what the thoughts here are and why. Patricia goes for a pass. Hopefully my drinking water encourages all of you to stay hydrated. So Patricia, Judith, and Andrew like passing and just playing in 3 no trumps. Pauline prefers going to 4 hearts because the diamonds could be vulnerable. So there is actually good merit either way. But here, Andrew makes a very good point. 2 very good points, actually. 1, all the suits are covered. Diamonds are slightly vulnerable, but because that's our longest suit, that's not much of a worry. And also, 3 no trumps does score higher. If we score the same number of tricks, 3 no trumps scores an extra 10 points. And, Andrew says, the reason 3 no trumps is likely to score the same number of tricks is because we're not likely to get an extra trick by roughing in our hand. And if you think about where extra tricks, when you have a trump suit, come from, they come from using that trump suit to rough when a trick you otherwise wouldn't. And that's when, if I had a shortage like a doubleton or a singleton, then we could potentially rough that. Because in partner's hand, the 5 cards suit, they're going to make those hearts anyway in no trumps. Presumably, we'll set them up. So the second reason, other than extra tricks for no trumps, could be stoppers. We've got a double stopper in both black suits, and we've got a 4-card suit and a stopper in diamonds. So because it's match points and that extra 10 points gives us a big score, I'm a fan of passing. But yeah, I wouldn't blame people for bidding 4 hearts. There is merit to bidding 4 hearts, which is that partner may have a singleton and we may be vulnerable. But as we can see, partner has ace king of diamonds. So diamonds were not a worry. So how many tricks do we have? 3 diamonds, 2 clubs is 5, 2 hearts is 7. Where would we like to look for extra tricks? Well, it seems pretty intuitive that we should look towards the hearts. But how should we play the hearts? So I anticipate one very interesting problem on this hand. No, that's not a problem. It would be a problem if we didn't have the 8 of hearts. So I'm not going to talk about it. The way that is most natural to play the hearts is just king and then run the 10. And is king then run the 10 what we want to do? Do we want to work on other suits while we have the entry in north hand from winning trick 1? Or do we want to unblock the diamonds potentially? What do we want to do? Okay, so in YouTube chat, Ollie Bomb says, "What if I shuffle the deck?" Very good point in YouTube chat. And Alec is feeling Spweeb says, "Your content keeps me going. Great to see you play as always." And why, yes, I will stay hydrated. That's so great to hear. I'm glad that you like the content. Glad you like the stream. Thanks for the Merry Christmas. Yeah, so here, let's see. Hearts 2-way to finesse. Do you guess where the queen is? Good point from Caroline. So, and Pauline says to unblock diamonds. Now, unblocking diamonds here, I wouldn't recommend. The reason why is because sometimes we'd have to take the ace king of diamonds so the queen doesn't get stranded in our hand. We have so many high cards as entries to our hand that I'm not worried about that. Unblocking is not necessary here. And Caroline, with the 2 ways to finesse and hearts, we should generally play our honors from the shorthand. If we play a low one to the 10, I'll just tell you. Actually, no, I'll show you. So if we play a low one to the 10, what if East has 4 to the queen, 9? We still lose, right? We play low to the 10, that wins. We play the king, low to the ace, and then we lose to the queen. What if West has queen 9 to 4? Then we play low to the king, 10, they cover with the queen, now we play the ace. Now we have the jack 8 sitting over their 9, so we can finesse their 9 later. So because we can pick up a bad break in West, but not in East, all other things being equal, we should finesse West for the queen. And yeah, we don't want to unblock because, say that finesse loses, they can also get rid of the final diamond, that queen. And then after that, if we want to set up spade tricks, we have to let them in to take the diamonds. So I would not recommend unblocking the diamonds here. And what we want to do is just king and run the 10. Lost to the queen. Low to the 10 would have worked. Now, some of you may say, oh, the king of spades won. Does that mean that East has the ace? Because if East does have the ace, we can get an extra trick in spades by playing another low one towards the queen. Got a question from Olibom. How do you keep motivated with bridge when you run out of lozenges and feel sad asking for sorry. Run out of lozenges. I don't have lozenges at bridge. So I don't feel sad when I run out of them. But if lozenges are what keeps you through the day, then you're just going to have to pack enough that you don't run out of lozenges. Yeah, so if the south hand was dummy, okay, West may be ducking the ace of spades sitting over the king. But with the north hand as dummy, they don't know their partner doesn't have the queen. So West cannot afford to be ducking the ace of spades here. So therefore, the ace should be in East, and we can generate another trick by playing low to the queen. Now, it doesn't make a big deal which suit we enter north with. I'll enter with the diamond and play a spade to the queen. Now we've got that extra trick. So we'll take our hearts and see if a squeeze materializes. And if it does, I'll show you what happened. So we haven't seen a diamond discard. So I will discard a diamond and then hope that the clubs are good, which it doesn't look like they are. I love how the robots throw away their highest card just randomly and make us tease us at that point. So we should see what we're getting for the hand. So first hand, we got 73.2%. That's a good score. Probably on this hand, some people are not ducking the first trick and not getting that friendly spade switch. That was a bit friendly from the robots. Second one, we actually got a pretty neutral board, which is interesting to see. I thought we might have, because, and some people are guessing the heart finesse the other way. I thought we might have gotten a better board because we passed 3 no trumps rather than being 4 hearts. But some people are going to play a heart to the 10 in both 4 hearts and 3 no trumps, and then they'll take more tricks than us. Anyway, this next hand we open 1 diamond, and I want to put a PSA out to all you ACOL players here. So for anyone who plays ACOL, 4-card majors weak no trump, you may have been told at some point in your life that with this 4-4-1 shape with a singleton club, you should open 1 heart. Now, there are many problems with this, but first I'll say, why the hell would anyone say to open 1 heart playing 4-card majors rather than 1 diamond with this type of hand shape when you normally open the lowest suit? And the reason why is because when you open 1 diamond and partner bids 2 clubs, you're not that happy rebidding a 4-card diamond suit. Take the suit quality ace, king, queen out of it because this is just for this hand shape in general. But that's the argument that they have. But let's analyze some of the problems with this. Number 1, if you open 1 heart and partner bids 2 clubs just like they did over 1 diamond, and you bid 2 diamonds, are you actually happier that you opened 1 heart? For a start, you've opened 1 heart, bid 2 diamonds. Partner's never going to imagine you only have 4 hearts. They're going to think, oh, partner's 5-4, start racing with 3 all the time. That's not going to be too pleasant. Number 2, even playing ACOL, partner will very often, especially in competitive auctions, but also in just regular 1 heart pass auctions, partner will very often have to and should raise with 3. That's not very pleasant if you have a 4-card heart suit and not a very strong hand. with a 4-4-4-1 shape. Thirdly, if you open one diamond, partner doesn't bid 2 clubs, you have no problems. Partner bids a major suit, you raise it. Partner bids 1 no trump, you pass. So anyway, that's just my my lesson to alcohol players. Here, do we bid 2 hearts or do we bid 3 hearts? We've got 9 points in diamonds, 4 in spades is 13. Do we count 3 for our singleton club or 2? Does that bring this hand up to 15 or 16? So Caroline says, I wouldn't open 1 heart with those hearts as have no stopper. Here's something that I've said before, but will totally revolutionize the way you play bridge seriously. It's one of the best pieces of advice in the bidding I could give. Don't ever think about stoppers except when the opponent's bid suits. Seriously, if the opponent's bid a suit, it's almost never right to worry about a stopper. There are some marginal exceptions, like when you've bid the other 3 suits and it's the 4th suit. But yeah, just don't worry about stoppers in suits that the opponents haven't bid. Because the opponents haven't bid them, probably neither of them has a good 5-card suit. If neither of them have a good 5-card suit, either partner's got good stuff or they've only got 4. And half the time, if they don't have a good suit, they're not even going to lead it. They're going to lead some other stuff. So don't worry about stoppers during the bidding. Patricia says 2 hearts. Judith says 6 losing tricks, 3 hearts. Now, if you're going by the losing trick count, 6 losing tricks is actually still a 2 hearts bid. I don't recommend going by the losing trick count, which that's a bit long of a thing in and of itself. But if partner has 8, we would be expecting them to invite over a 2 hearts bid if partner has 8 losers. So losing trick count, we still should bid 2 hearts here. And if you're counting points for shortages, with an 8-card fit, which is what we know it to be at the moment, you should count 2 points for shortage. So that club is worth 2, bringing us up to 15. And 2 hearts is 12 to 15 total points. Now, I know people who with 15 like to bid 3 hearts. If you do that, 3 hearts isn't that much of a mistake. And this hand is actually maybe a little bit better than your average 6 loser hand. But that's where it's at. And aren't we glad? Are we glad? Okay, so counting losers, and we want to count losers from this is a tough one. I'm going to count losers from partner's hand because they have better trumps and we can rough their clubs. So we have no diamond losers, 1 spade loser, 2 heart losers, and 3 club losers. Remember, that's 3 losers. Now, we can rough 2 clubs, which would bring us down to 4 losers. And we can potentially discard a spade on a diamonds, and potentially we can only lose 1 heart. Now, disregarding the clubs for a second, how would we want to play the heart suit in a vacuum here? If we're just looking at the heart suit alone, what's the best chance to only lose 1 heart trick? Lead low to jack, says Judith. Absolutely. Low to the jack is right. And yeah, that's just hoping West is king queen. There's nothing better on the hand that in this heart suit. then low to jack. And it looks like Andrew, Caroline, Pauline, everyone's getting that right. That's great to see. Maybe it means these lessons are paying off. But yeah, what we should do before doing that is lose a club, because we would really like to ruff. Now, it may seem natural to play a low spade here, but it's actually better to play the ace. So then the king of spades is an entry to ruff the club after we've lost it. Now we can ruff the club. Now here, do we want to... We're going to play a heart at this point. I'll tell you that. Do we want to lead the heart to the jack, playing for what we can see as the good play in the suit alone? Or would we rather play low to the ace and immediately ruff a club? What do you think? Pauline likes the finesse. I don't think the ruff is going away. Yeah, so even if we lose that, which it's probably going to do, and even if they play another trump back, we still have another trump in the south hand to ruff the 8 of clubs. So yes, we should finesse. There is a slight consideration with the spades, but that's pretty negligible. So we play low to the jack, hoping that the king and the queen were in west, which they weren't. And this was the consideration in spades that I was talking about. So it looks like the bad case happened where West had the king doubleton and is able to get a trump promotion doing it this way. I didn't talk about that because it was a bit too, like, it's not always going to happen, and when it does, it's like kind of hard to see and hard to explain, so I didn't go into it here. But at this point, what is important is, should we continue playing on hearts, try and draw those out, hoping they're 1-1 left, because there are 3 gone, only 2 left, or should we just take our diamonds? Patricia says F no. Is that F no to playing on hearts? Pauline likes playing on the diamonds. So you've got some good instincts here, because playing on the diamonds is the good idea, because it really looks like West had just a king doubleton. So if we play a heart, East wins that heart, draws our last trump, and can just get some winners. So we just play the diamonds and say, look, you get your 2 heart tricks when you like. And we can be sad that we didn't play a heart to the ace. Oh, the heart was the 3, because what happened to the 8? Okay. Oh, we led the 8 for some reason. Anyway, playing a heart there actually would have been better. I forgot that it was just the 3 out. Did I play the 8 and not notice? I knew it was king 9 doubleton. Yeah, I ruffed with the 8 of hearts and not noticed. That was a bit stupid. So it would have been slightly better to play another heart there, because they can't actually draw both trumps. That's my bad. If you lose a heart here and they play another trump, you just get the diamonds. And if you lose a heart here, it's actually still the same number of tricks if they play the ace of clubs. but it would have been still better to play that in case they're 2-2, because we don't have the danger of them drawing 2 trumps. So it wouldn't have made a difference, but it was a mistake. So that's my bad. And yeah, we could have gotten an extra trick if we'd played a heart to the ace at this point, because we play a heart to the ace, ruff a club, then play a second heart. Now all the opponents are getting is 2 heart tricks, 1 spade trick, and a club trick. Whereas as it happened, because we played low to the jack, they were able to play queen of spades. Their partner ruffed their winner in spades with the king of hearts, making East's trump holding effectively become 3 tricks. Now, this isn't something that's often going to happen in your games. People aren't often going to find this. So it's a small consideration. And it's, a bit much to consider on the hand with all the other things we're talking about. 1 heart. Partners bid 2 clubs. The robots play this as jury. So that's showing sort of in a 9 to 11 range, and and support for hearts when they're a passed hand. That's just a thing the robots do. We have a definite 4 hearts bid here. Having 15 points and a singleton up to 17, when partner has 9, that's 26. More than enough. More than enough for 4 hearts. Noting East has made a takeout double of clubs while being of hearts. Sorry, they doubled 2 clubs, takeout of hearts, while being a passed hand. What the? Hold on, is this a takeout double? I would play it as a takeout double, but do they? It also shows good clubs, so it's kind of lead directing and takeout. Interesting. So, what losers do we have? Counting from the long trump hand, we have 2 spades and a club to lose, and a potential heart loser. What are we going to do about them? Well, we can ruff the club. Can we do anything about the spades and the heart loser? Alec is feeling sweep. If I cheat by looking at another player's hand, is this allowed? That's an odd question to ask. But if you cheat by looking at another player's hand, that's actually not allowed. Even if their hand is like somewhat visible, often happens at the club for like older players, right? They can't quite hold their hand close to their chest, so they might lean forward a bit. It is not allowed to lean over and look at their hand and play based on that. And you may say, oh, but they're showing that it's available for me to see. They should. It's up to them. No, it's against the rules, and it's not very ethical to do that. Andrew says long diamond for a spade. Pauline, Judith all say discard on spades. Yeah, absolutely. We can discard a spade on the diamonds. And in the hearts, if they're 2-2, we're not losing any. And I'm hoping that we have an opportunity to demonstrate what's called restricted choice here. I'm not sure we will. There's no hurry to ruff a club here, so I'll just start playing on the hearts. Aha! The queen has come. So there is the opportunity to demonstrate restricted choice. Now, restricted choice is when you see one of 2 equal honors get played when it didn't have to be. They didn't have to play the queen here. They could have just played low. So this is a situation where it's either queen jack doubleton or a singleton queen. Queen jack third we disregard because that we're making the same number of tricks regardless for that. So either we have to play low to the 10 or we have to play low to the ace. Which one do we play for? The queen jack doubleton or the queen singleton? Does anyone know? So Queen Singleton. Queen Singleton is 2 times as likely. Yeah, this is good to see. Good to see some people are knowing exactly how to play this. So Jack will fall under the ace if it's Singleton. So that's if it's a Queen Jack Doubleton, what we're playing for, then it will fall under the ace. That's correct. But if it's a Queen Singleton West, that gives East Jack to 3, and we could finesse to the 10. Now, the people playing for Queen Singleton are correct. It is 2 times as likely. And this is just a rule called restricted choice. When you see the honor fall of 2 equal honors and it didn't have to, it's now twice as likely that it's a singleton rather than 2 honors doubleton. This applies with King Queen, with Queen Jack, it applies with 10-9. Any 2 equal honors, it's more likely the other one's in the other hand. And I'm not going to get into the maths behind this. It's a bit of a, if you've ever heard of the Monty Hall problem, it's related to that. But yeah, we should finesse here. And it worked. Oh, I love it when instructive things pay off. And everyone gets to learn from example. If I hold my cards in my left hand rather than my right, will this give me an advantage or a disadvantage? No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that holding your cards in the left hand would give you an advantage. Which hand do I hold my cards in? I play with my left, so I hold in my right hand. I think a lot of people hold in their left hand. Spoofer. Oh, you think that the person is playing a joke on me with those comments? Yeah, that's yeah, that's true. They probably are. I should stop responding to them. So Andrew asks, "Are you left-handed?" No, I'm not left-handed, but I hold my cards with my right hand and play with my left. It's always felt natural. I also hold my cards upside down and with the red suits touching. So I'm not sure you should take the card holding advice from me. Close to my chest. I also often just have them face down on the table, you know. So we have 13 points here, and we have a 2 clubs bid. Now, we would prefer to bid 2 clubs here rather than 2 diamonds because it's the lowest 4-card suit, even though the diamonds are better. For the robot system, this is forcing to game 13 plus points. It's okay to respond to the funny ones, says Andrew. Like, they are kind of funny questions here. But I can't often tell if people are being genuine or joking around, especially online. But even in person, I can't always tell. Partners rebid 2 hearts here, which doesn't actually have to have 6 hearts in it, because they could have a hand with hearts and spades, 5 hearts and 4 spades, without enough points to bid 2 spades. And for some people, this is up to partnership agreement. It may have like a balanced hand which doesn't want to bid 2 no trumps, or a hand with only 4 clubs that doesn't want to raise. But for the most part, it's either going to be 6 hearts or 5 hearts and 4 spades with the weaker hand. And we'll just bid 2 no trumps here. The reason we bid 2 rather than 3 is to let our partner bid their heart suit again if they've got 6, because then we've got a fit. And partners bid them again, so they've got 6, we've got a fit, we can bid 4. And you may say, oh, can't partner pass 2 no trumps? The robots play 2 over 1 game forcing, so 2 clubs was forcing to game. We can't pass until game's bid. And here we have it. So we have one spade loser, one diamond loser, two club losers. That's 4. And the club losers can possibly go away on the diamonds and spades. Looks like they might be getting a diamond ruff, but I hope not. And I played the jack there to make them think I was finessing the queen. And that's just a habitual thing I do when there's that. If they think their partner has the queen and that I was finessing it, they won't want to play a diamond back. I don't want them to play a diamond back because I think East is getting a ruff. Play the queen here to unblock. Hey, no ruff. So what should we do now? Well, I can't see any reason not to draw trumps, so after we draw trumps, we'll encounter the interesting problem on the hand. Trumps are 4-1. Can't see any reason not to draw the third one, though. But what should we do at this point? So it would have worked better to play a spade earlier, but oh well. So what should we do here? Should we force out the heart? Should we play a spade? Or should we play on the diamonds? What do you think? There's interesting options here. Pauline says a spade. Patricia also says a spade. Spade, keep diamond as entry. So you all have the principles very good. If the trumps were fully drawn, we would absolutely play a spade here to set those up and get rid of the club loser. It isn't actually the right play on this hand for an interesting reason. And I will demonstrate that by making the play myself. And here, we actually want to play a low club. The reason we want to play a low club is because if we take the ace, play a diamond, they can get rough it in East with their trump that's still out, and then cash 2 club tricks. By playing low, we only lose 1 club trick maximum. And now we just have the heart to lose. We'll claim 1 off. Now, we didn't actually quite get to see the reason why we should play a heart rather than a spade here, but I'll just talk about it. So we'll get to the point which we did it. It was here. So the problem with playing a spade at this point is if East wins the spade, then shoots a club through, knocks out our ace, we actually don't have an entry to the south hand, even though it looks like we do. We know that East had a doubleton diamond from their lead. They played high-low. And we also know they've got 1 heart left. So what we can do when we try and cross over in diamonds to get rid of the clubs on the spades, they can rough that, and then we no longer have the ace of clubs, and they can just keep going with clubs and get the heart, the spade, and 2 clubs from there, plus their 1 diamond already in the bag. It's 5, so 2 light. By losing the heart, we lose that. We lose the spade, and we can discard 1 club on the diamond and only lose 1 more, so that's 3. So we're guaranteed to lose 3 more tricks, but by playing another heart, preventing them from roughing our entry, we prevent the possibility of losing 4 more. Now, I'm interested to see how some people didn't go light. A good play that we didn't really consider because it's not quite the right play would have been playing a spade when we won the Queen of Diamonds. But that just, if the trumps were 3-2, we'd look pretty silly when that goes ace of spades, diamond rough, and the trumps are 3-2. So even though in this hand that works a bit better, it's not the right play. And of course, playing a heart to the 9 isn't the right play either. And yeah, playing the spade would make 16 points. We have a 1 no trump opener. Partners bid Stamen, we have no major, and 3 no trumps. And okay, we have 2 heart tricks, 4 clubs is 6, a diamond is 7, and a spade is 8. What do we want to do here? This is an interesting hand to play. Some good potential stuff to do here. Certain extra in spades. Good point, Andrew. Yep. We have a certain extra trick in spades. Pauline says spade finesse. Yeah. So I'm glad that people are not looking towards the diamonds. Often on these type of hands, you actually do want to look towards the suit you have the most of, because often it'll be, let's say we didn't have the jack of spades, it'll be a spot where either the spade finesse will work or it won't at any point. So we'd want to perhaps work on the diamond tricks. But here we need to lose 2 tricks. With only 1 heart stopper after this lead left, we can't afford to lose 2 tricks. So we don't want to set up the diamonds. Everyone's right with the spade finesse. Now, something we do want to do first is unblock the clubs. Just going to make life so much easier to take all these clubs first. So then we never run out of entries to the south hand. Because if we lost that spade finesse and then they played a heart, knocked out the king, we only have the ace of spades left as an entry, which could get a little awkward. Spade to queen, lost to the king. Not unhappy about that. Now we want to take the king of clubs while we're here. And just hope that the 10 of spades falls. Come on. Yes. Okay. Now, why did I play for the 10 to drop rather than finessing? With a odd number, you should finesse when it's the relevant round. So in this case, the 3rd round of the suit was relevant. So with odd number, we finesse on the 3rd round. So like if you have 8, the second rounds, you don't finesse. With odd, you play for the drop, and with even, you finesse. So like with 8, the relevant round is usually second round, playing for the queen. So you play for the finesse of the queen rather than the drop. And with 9, you play for the drop of the queen. That's relevant on the second round. Got 67%, pretty normal. Here we have 18 points, nothing to do but 1 club. Partners bid 1 diamond. Now, what do we bid here? We have a very interesting position. I'll give you some options. 1 heart, 2 hearts, or 2 no trumps. Those are your options. Which one do we want to do? Patricia says 2 no trumps. I usually keep it low with one heart, but I suspect 2-no is the correct bid. Caroline says a spade. Pauline and Judith say one heart. So yeah, one spade isn't really that much different from one heart. I'm just saying one heart to keep the selection of options small. So we have 2 for one heart and 1.5 for 2-no trumps. Andrew's like half and half either. He's not committing. He's splitting his vote. Caroline meant to say one heart. Sure, so that's 3 for one heart and 1.5 for 2-no trumps. So 2-no trumps here is actually my preferred bid. So, okay, 2 for 2-no trumps and 3 for one heart. We'll do one heart, but 2-no trumps is my preferred bid, and I'll explain why. So with one heart, we may get past with partner having 7 points, maybe even 8, if they have like probably not 8, so like 6 or 7 points if they have a hand where they don't have a no trump bid, right? Maybe if they have 4 hearts, 6 points, or maybe if they have 3 hearts, 7, maybe even 8 points. And the second problem, the biggest problem with one heart, is it'll be very hard to convince partner we have spades, right? If we bid one heart, is partner always bidding one spade with spades? I'm not so sure. And if partner's not always bidding one spade when they have spades, if they might just bid one no trump, thinking that, well, we've got clubs and hearts, we've got at least usually 5 plus clubs, we're not going to have spades, they don't bother showing them. It is perhaps possible to miss a spade fit. If we rebid 2 no trumps, partner can always check back for 4 card majors. So we'll never miss a spade or heart fit by rebidding 2 no trumps. Now you may see, oh, well, what about our singleton? It's a singleton minor, it's a singleton honor, and it's in partner's suit they've already bid, so we're not so worried about it. There's a lot of reasons why I'm not so worried about having a singleton ace here. But we'll bid one heart since that's the vote. One heart is by no means like a bad bid. It just doesn't really get our strength across and has a few potential downsides. Now here partners bid 3 clubs, which is interesting. They've got 10 to 12 points and club support. Usually 5, but can sometimes be 4. Are we interested in slam, or do we just want to bid 3 no trumps? So when I'm interested in slam, I give partners specific hands I'd like them to have. So let's say they had king, queen, 5th of clubs, 4 diamonds, because they bid 1 diamond, 1 heart, and king to 3 spades, right? That's 8 points. We can give them a few more points in diamonds, and we're totally lay down for 6 clubs. We'll just lose a heart. We can rough their diamonds. We can rough our hearts. That's all fine. Now, that's a perfect sub-minimum. If partner could have a perfect minimum, I recommend looking for slam. So on this hand, I recommend looking for slam. Partner could even have that same hand without the queen of clubs or the king of spades, and we would still be on a couple finesses. So just the king of clubs, king, 5th of clubs, 3 points, and 4 diamonds, 1 heart, 3 spades, and we have some play. It's not a good slam, but it's not necessarily going down, even with that 3-point hand. So we should try for slam. What should we do? None of the descriptions are very good. Yeah, they've jumped to 3 clubs, so they're showing points. Yeah, they're showing here 10 to 12. So because even with 3 points we might have play, and with 8 points, that specific 8, we could have a really good slam. I think it's worth trying. Now, here the robots' agreements are not very good, right? They don't really give any credence to their bids. I'm just going to bid 3 spades, show our 4-card spade suit, and then bid on again over 3 no trumps. Q bid. Woohoo! That's what I want to do. Partners bid 5 clubs. Not sure I believe them. It says 12 plus high card points. Do they really have no Q bid? Nah. The robots' slam methods are so bad, I'm just going to bid 6 clubs and hope. I may be going crazy. Let's see the dummy. I am going crazy. They have the ace king of hearts off the top. I should have trusted partner, but the good news is they haven't let a heart. So counting losers from partner's hand, we have 2 heart losers, but we can get rid of all of those on the spades. We have 1 potential club loser, and let's say 1 potential diamond loser to the king. So we have 3 spade discards. We can get rid of 2 hearts on the spades, get rid of 1 diamond on the spades. Now, I don't think the robots are very likely to be leading away from the king against a slam here in diamonds. So I think if we play east for the king with a roughing finesse, we're likely to succeed in that. So I'm going to preserve our queen jack 10, play a low one. Draw trumps, play some spades, chucking some hearts, rough a heart over, and then take the diamond roughing finesse. Hey, trumps are not good for us. So we're relying on the diamond roughing finesse. Yes. And then we get 2 of the last 1 trick. Beautiful. Now that was fortunate. Okay, I will admit. East having the king of diamonds, them not leading a heart, that was a fortunate slam. We didn't really want to be in there. So this actually gives some time for an important general bridge advice. What people often do when they get a good board like this, they say, oh, we're in the slam making, no one else was. We got 94%. And they don't talk about the hand. But it's actually very important. Like, this was not a slam we wanted to be in. And if you remember the bidding, we really didn't know where we were, right? We were kind of lost in the bidding. The robots' agreements aren't very good here. They didn't give us many avenues to actually make good slam tries. So this board is still important if that happens to you to discuss with your partner. To say, hey, why did this happen? Why were we in the slam missing the ace king of hearts? And what can we do about it in the future? How can we improve our slam bidding methods? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you have to ask an expert. I would recommend first and second round control Q bidding. Caroline says, wow, I would have stayed in 3 no trumps. And staying in 3 no trumps is actually better on the hand, right? You don't want to be in the slam, even though it did work out. So if you play this board, you actually want to figure out, why did we overbid? Just because it may doesn't mean it's going to make most of the time. So you don't want to say, oh, go us, we're in the slam, no one else is in and made. We want to say, why did we overbid on this hand? And try and figure it out amongst yourselves, maybe get some better slam bidding agreements, maybe ask some experts. But you don't only want to look at the hands you did poorly. You want to look at the ones you did well on too. We can't. Okay, so do we bid 4 hearts or do we pass here? With only 14 points, I think we're passing. Patricia, gut feeling? I did have a good gut feeling towards the slam, but it was also based on analysis. If partner had a singleton heart, we needed very little from them. And they could have easily had a singleton heart when they'd shown 9 cards in the minors. Well, usually 9 cards in the minors. So we did have some analysis behind it. And we also knew that they might have had a king of hearts rather than a small one. Right? Imagine they had the king of hearts instead of the king of spades. Now it's not so bad a slam. We just lose a heart, have to figure out the diamonds. I mean, it's still not great, but, that singleton king of spades wasn't that useful. Queen jack of diamonds ended up being useful, but we could have roughed those anyway, so I'm not sure how important they were. On this hand, do we bid 4 hearts, or do we pass? Is double ever an option here? Good question, Andrew. But we do not want to double on this hand. Double does not show our heart fit. But let's say double was showing a heart fit, or at least suggesting one. How is double any different from 4 hearts? The only place partner can go would be 4 hearts. So you want to try and avoid taking these kind of half measures, being like, I don't really want to bid my hearts at the 4 level. I'll just double. I want to bid something. But double actually has no case where it's better than 4 hearts, and has a clear case when it's worse, which is that partner doesn't actually know you've got a heart fit for them. Caroline says I would go 4 hearts if not vol. Now, there are a couple avenues to look at this. One, could we have 4 hearts on? Maybe, but I think partner's probably going to bid again if they've got 11 points. Right, we've got 14. If they've got 11, I think they're probably going to bid again. So we're not going to miss a 25-point game if we pass. Second, we don't really want to bid to 4 hearts on the law of total tricks. Right, saying it's non-vol means you're thinking you're going to go down. If you're thinking you're going to go down, then it's a competitive situation, and the law of total tricks applies. We have only 8 trumps. We don't know how many trumps they have. We don't want to go to the 4 level competing. So we should pass here. If they bid 2 spades, I would stretch to bid 3 hearts. Just stretching to show the fit. They've bid 4 spades. We have nothing to do but pass. The robots lead king from ace king, so I'll lead the king of hearts. Now, what's interesting is 2 passed hands here bid to 4 spades freely. I'm wishing I passed the board in, but with 14 points, we're not going to pass the board in. And we have gone a bit over time here, so I won't go too much. I'll just quickly explain what I'm doing. Now, I know that these clubs are going to set up for them, so I want to get the diamonds going as quickly as possible. I'm going to play a diamond. I have 7 spades. As they advertised in the bidding, I'm hoping they're shortened clubs and long diamonds, and we can get a couple diamond tricks. Don't think it's very likely. And I don't know, to be honest, why they didn't open 3 spades. With such good spades and 7 of them, why they passed. And this isn't very good either. They've got the king of diamonds there. They're making 5. And I'm wishing that we passed the board in. But we didn't. And we shouldn't pass the board in most of the time. We don't expect the opponents to make a game after they've both passed. How could East pass this hand? This is baffling. I wonder if anyone did pass in the hand. But anyway, that's it for this week. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a good week. We're here on Tuesday again at the same time. I hope to see many of you here, and I hope you enjoyed here. Now, remember, if you want to send in a hand for me to review next week, the username is HelloLBO. To send in a hand, you just go to one of your hands, click the 3 bars up top here, click Export, then Send to Member, and just type in Hello LBO. Now, because the messages have a bit of a bug, I can't really see them when you just put a quick message like bidding or play, something quick like that. Or maybe finesse. Should I finesse or not? Because that has some errors. But yeah, if you want to do that, then feel free to. We got 50% on the last board. It was pretty flat. And we ended up with a 63.64, which is all right. Yeah, thank you all. And great to see a lot of people enjoying it, learning so much. Thanks. Yeah, also, if you have any feedback, let me know. The glasses aren't very. Let me know if there's things you'd like me to talk more on, if there are things that you feel I talk too much about. I'm always trying to become better as a teacher, just like you all are trying to become better as bridge players. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.